So today we'll be seeing one small topic that is femoral triangle. So we have seen the thigh region and we have seen different muscles. We have seen some muscles on the anterior aspect of the thigh, which is called the extensor compartment of the thigh. And we have seen some muscles in the extensor compartment of the thigh. So we are going to see a small area in the anterior aspect of the thigh, and that's called femoral triangle. This area, we can see a small triangular depression here, and that's called femoral triangle, which is a space between the muscles and inguinal ligament. Inguinal ligament is a ligament which is connecting anterior superior iliac spine to pubic tubercle. So it's a triangular depression which is seen on the front of the upper 1/3 of the thigh, immediately below the inguinal ligament. So this area is seen below the inguinal ligament. The boundaries of it are the femoral triangle is bounded laterally by medial border of sartorius. Sartorius is a muscle which is seen in the anterior compartment, and medially by the medial border of adductor longus. Adductor longus muscle is belonging to the medial compartment of thigh. So this is the boundary of the femoral triangle, and above by the inguinal ligament. Inguinal ligament. Inguinal ligament is the aponeurosis of external oblique aponeurosis. External oblique aponeurosis is a muscle of abdomen, and the lower aspect of it is the aponeurotic part of the muscle, and that modified to form inguinal ligament. Now here the inguinal ligament can be seen clearly. The floor of the triangle, the lower aspect, what is it made of, the floor? So it is formed medially by adductor longus and pectineus. So there are muscles like adductor longus that is forming the boundary as well as the floor, because we can see here this is the adductor longus, so it is forming the boundary and the floor. And pectineus. Pectineus is another muscle which is seen medial to the adductor longus. So these are forming the floor medially, whereas on the lateral aspect, it is formed by iliacus and psoas major. Iliacus is a muscle which is originating from the iliac fossa. Psoas muscle originating from the abdomen. It is originating from the lumbar vertebra. Both of these muscles joins to form a single tendon, and that is attached to the lesser trochanter of femur. So these two muscles are forming the lateral boundary or lateral aspect of the floor of femoral triangle. Now the roof of femoral triangle has skin, superficial fascia containing superficial inguinal lymph nodes. Superficial inguinal lymph nodes are present in this area. Femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve. So there is a nerve. Branches of ilioinguinal nerve. There is another nerve, ilioinguinal. Then another nerve, that is genitofemoral nerve. So we have seen two nerves. So genitofemoral nerve, ilioinguinal nerve. Then branches of femoral artery. Femoral artery is the main artery supplying the thigh region. Then accompanying veins and upper part of great saphenous vein. Great saphenous vein can be seen here. And the deep fascia with the saphenous opening and the cribriform fascia. So deep fascia can be seen here, fascia lata, and opening there where the great saphenous vein draining into femoral vein. Femoral vein. So it is passing through an opening in the fascia that's called saphenous opening. Saphenous opening is usually filled with fascia, and that is cribriform fascia. So these are the structures can be seen in the roof. The skin, superficial fascia containing branches of nerves, femoral artery, accompanying veins, great saphenous vein passing through the saphenous opening. The saphenous opening can be seen here, which is filled with the cribriform fascia. Great saphenous vein is penetrating the cribriform fascia, saphenous opening, and draining into femoral vein. It's an oval aperture in the deep fascia of the thigh, 3 to 4 centimeter below and lateral to pubic tubercle. So the location is 3 to 4 centimeter below and lateral to pubic tubercle. And the dimensions are 3 centimeter long, 1.5 centimeter wide. And usually it is covered with cribriform fascia. It has got a sharp lateral and inferior margin. Its lateral margin and the inferior margin are sharp, and the lateral margin and the inferior margin together called as falciform margin. So it is something like a sickle. So that is why it's called falciform, and it is very sharp. Femoral triangle is the area which we already saw, and it is formed by the sartorius muscle as we saw before, and the adductor longus muscle, the inguinal ligament. The femoral nerve, artery, and the vein are found in this area. So there are 3 structures which are seen in this area. From medial to lateral are femoral vein, femoral artery, and femoral nerve. So these structures are seen in the femoral triangle. So contents are femoral artery and its branches, that is between the femoral vein and the femoral nerve. The femoral artery, that is traversing the triangle from base at the mid-inguinal point to the apex. Mid-inguinal point is a point that is between anterior superior iliac spine and pubic symphysis. That is called a mid-inguinal point. So this area, so it starts from the base of the triangle and it goes to the apex of the triangle. So when we say the apex of the triangle, this can be considered as the apex of the triangle. This one. We can also see that the femoral artery is passing through the apex. Base is here. The triangle, it gives off 6 branches. In those 3 are superficial and 3 are deep. So there are total 6 branches of the femoral artery in femoral triangle. In that 3 are superficial, 3 are deep. The superficial branches of femoral artery in femoral triangle are superficial external pudendal. Superficial external pudendal. That artery supplies the pudendal area, the reproductive structures, external reproductive organs. Deep branches, again there are superficial branches like superficial external pudendal. Then we have superficial epigastric, which is reaching the abdominal area. Superficial circumflex ilia passes through the ilium. So these are the 3 superficial branches of femoral artery. The deep branches of femoral artery are the profunda femoris. Profunda femoris is a deep branch. Profunda femoris is also called the deep femoral artery. The meaning of profunda is deep. The deep external pudendal artery. So we have seen the superficial external pudendal. Near to that, one artery that passes little deeper, that's called deep external pudendal artery, and some muscular branches. So these are the deep branches of the femoral artery in femoral triangle. The femoral vein can be seen here as the most medial structure in the femoral triangle, along with its tributaries. Some of the veins which are draining into the femoral vein. Femoral vein accompanies the femoral artery, as we can see. The location of femoral vein is medial to femoral artery. femoral vein receives the great saphenous vein, the circumflex veins and veins corresponding to branches of femoral artery. Now, whatever branches of femoral artery that we have discussed, it is accompanied by a vein, and that is draining into the femoral vein. So this is the femoral vein. So that is continuing as the external iliac vein, as in this figure, above the inguinal ligament. So the femoral vein will continue as external iliac vein, So that can be seen here. Now the femoral sheath is also a content of femoral triangle. Femoral sheath is a funnel-shaped extension of facial lining of abdominal cavity. So these structures which we mentioned right now, they are seen in the abdomen, they pass into the thigh. So when it does so, it takes some part of the abdominal fascia, because it's a part of abdomen that we can see here, abdomen and the pelvis. So when it passes from the abdominal pelvis to the thigh region, this fascia in the abdomen will be taken by these structures when it reaches the thigh. So this fascia, this sheath that we can see here is called femoral sheath, which is an extension of the fascia of the abdominal cavity. And it surrounds upper 4 centimeter of femoral artery and vein. So femoral artery and vein are covered by femoral sheath, the upper 4 centimeter of it in the femoral triangle, whereas the femoral nerve is not covered by the femoral sheath. Femoral nerve lies outside the femoral sheath. So there are different walls of femoral sheath. Anterior wall, which is made of fascia transversalis. Fascia transversalis is a fascia that is seen deep to transversus abdominis. Transversus abdominis is a muscle which is seen on the anterior abdominal wall. So anterior abdominal wall is made of transversus abdominis muscle. Deep to that there is a fascia. So when the artery comes down, it takes a part of transversalis fascia. Posterior wall is derived from fascia iliaca. Fascia iliaca is the fascia that is covering the iliacus muscle. So posterior abdominal wall or posterior pelvic wall is made of the fascia iliaca and the iliacus muscle. Now these structures are entering into the thigh. So when it enters into the thigh, it takes a part from the anterior aspect, that is fascia transversalis, posterior aspect, that is fascia iliacus. So thus the femoral sheath is made of anteriorly, the anterior wall of the femoral sheath is made of fascia transversalis, and posterior wall is made of fascia iliaca. Because it is coming from the pelvic region into the thigh region, so it takes part of the fascia which you can see in the pelvis. Lateral wall is long and vertical. So here in this diagram, this is a femoral sheath. Again, this area is a femoral sheath. The lateral wall can be seen here, and femoral artery, femoral vein can be seen. This is the medial aspect, this is the lateral aspect. Femoral nerve is actually seen outside the femoral sheath. So the lateral wall is longer and vertical. So this is the shape of the femoral sheath. It's divided into 3 compartments by 2 vertical anteroposterior septa. So there are anteroposterior septa that is connecting, or that is dividing this sheath into some compartments. There are 2 anteroposterior septa, which divides this compartment into, or divides this area into 3 compartments. 1, 2, 3. You can see here medial, intermediate, and lateral compartment. Here we can see that how the fascia is covering the structures. The sheath is divided into the following 3 compartments by septa. So there is a septa connecting anterior to the posterior aspect of the femoral sheath. Lateral compartment or arterial compartment, which contains femoral artery and a nerve, femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve, which is seen just anterior to the femoral artery. intermediate compartment or venous compartment, which contains femoral vein, and the most medial compartment, which is also called lymphatic compartment, which is almost empty, but it has some small lymph nodes in this area. And this area is called the femoral canal. Femoral canal. So this area is usually empty, but there are some lymph nodes. We will talk about that. So basically, there are three compartments: the lateral compartment, arterial, medial, intermediate compartment, that is vein, containing femoral vein, and the most medial compartment is almost empty. But there are some lymph nodes, and that's called femoral canal. So now concentrating only towards the femoral canal. So we are going to see this area only, femoral canal. So this is how it looks, femoral canal. So these are the structures that we can see here: femoral artery, femoral vein, and most medially femoral canal can be seen. So this is the different structures in each compartment. So this area looks empty, and this is called femoral canal. So there is femoral canal and femoral ring. So what's the meaning? What is the difference between femoral canal and femoral ring? So the middle compartment of the femoral sheath is femoral canal, and it is conical in shape, wide above and narrow below. So upper part is wider and the lower part is narrow. And the base of it, there is this one upper part. Upper end is called femoral ring. So the upper end of the femoral canal is called the femoral ring, which is most expanded part. So this area, what we can see here is the upper end, that is femoral ring, closed by condensation of extraperitoneal tissue called femoral septum. Now this is an area. What you can see here in this diagram is the inner view, interior view of the anterior abdominal wall, lower part. So it's an internal view. So we can see that the artery vein in this diagram. So it is right side. We are seeing the inner view. So this is a femoral canal. So the top of it, the base of it is called femoral ring. Now usually this area is covered by extraperitoneal tissue because this is a part of abdomen. So it is covered by extraperitoneal tissue. Now peritoneum we have seen already. So just superficial to the peritoneum, there is extraperitoneal tissue. Now this femoral ring is wider in females due to wider pelvis and small femoral vessels. In females, the femoral vessels are smaller. So suppose the femoral vein is smaller, there will be more space in this area. So that's why we say that in females, femoral ring is more wider. The parietal peritoneum covering the septum from above shows a depression called femoral fossa. So here there is extraperitoneal connective tissue and the parietal peritoneum, because parietal peritoneum is adherent to the anterior abdominal wall. So if you see from outer to inner, we have three, or we can consider in this way, that there is anterior abdominal wall, then there is extraperitoneal connective tissue, then you have parietal peritoneum. So the parietal peritoneum has a depression in it that's called femoral fossa.